When it comes to a list like the one we're about to embark on, there are always plenty of honorable mentions, such as the modern pro wrestling talent pool. Carmella's union with R-Truth has transformed her into a genuinely fun mid-card act, with her in-ring game significantly sharpened at the start of the calendar year, and an incredible indie run has made us all look twice at Jordan Devlin. That man knows what the hell he's doing. Juice Robinson continues to grow as a big match performer in New Japan Pro Wrestling, and Randy Orton went from kinda bored babyface to SmackDown sociopath. And then of course there's Drew McIntyre, who is gearing up for his monster push, which is much deserved. As for Elias, well, that dude is just the master of crowd control, and whoever saw that coming. Found within are the men and women though whose 2018 performances almost make their 2017 efforts look embarrassing. Granted, most have benefited from stronger booking, but that doesn't detract from their progression. Skill, graft and smarts have helped them take their respective games to the next level. They've spent the past 12 months snapping at the heels of those above them, and in some cases taking their spots, setting them up for even more great leap forwards as we head into 2019. Everybody needs to watch their asses. I'm Simon from WhatCulture, and this is the 10 most improved wrestlers of 2018. Number 10, Tessa Blanchard. Long considered one of the most impressive women's wrestlers not under WWE contract, Tessa Blanchard's excellence in Impact Wrestling continues to prove Vince McMahon and Triple H wrong, because they did pass on her. In short, Blanchard has found her niche. A scowling, domineering heel, she has evolved into one of the game's most effective villainesses. She's brash, cocky and headstrong, and her personality complements her in-ring style. She's all about power and control. Matches with the likes of Tara Valkyrie and Su Yung have yielded excellence, and if anyone backstage ever thought she was just relying on her lineage, 2018 has seen her evolve into a potential headliner who's fast catching up on even WWE's top performers. The scariest part? Tessa is only 23 years old. She's only been doing this for around about 4.5 years, and yet she commands the squared circle like a damn veteran. Imagine how good she'll be down the line. A fresh Impact deal signed in July keeps her tethered to the promotion until 2020, and before you know it, she will be plying her trade in a bigger spotlight. 2019 may just be her year. Number 9, the Velveteen Dream. The Velveteen Dream is the only wrestler to feature on this list, as well as the one in 2017, and both inclusions are right. If last year saw him go to relative unknown to charisma bomb, 2018 brought his journey closer to developmental stardom, particularly towards the end. The 23-year-old's performance versus Tommaso Ciampa was stunning. Dream shone in the biggest match of his career, proving himself one of the most effective crowd pleasers in the business with fire and electricity. It was his career's finest hour thus far, and followed a year filled with similar highlights, as we all sat around going, please don't screw the Velveteen Dream up. As of yet, they have not. How WWE handle the former Patrick Clark in 2019 will be interesting. No wrestler down in NXT is more charismatic or attention-grabbing, but as always, there's work to be done. Dream needs another year or two to ensure he irons out any flaws, and a premature main roster call-up would hamper his progress and potentially lower his ceiling. So let's hope he's allowed to remain in Triple H's playground for the foreseeable future. Number 8, Baron Corbin. As a wrestler, Baron Corbin is largely the same as he was this time last year, but Raw's general manager-elect is in a different league as a character. Shaving his head and becoming an authority figure has revived Corbin no end. No longer a loathsome Raw presence, he's now one of the flagship show's most delightfully detestable pieces of He's so effective as a scummy corporate weasel, it's astonishing WWE didn't think of it sooner. And while Baron's in-ring output remains the same as it was last year, as already said, he's now a credit to WWE programming, and that's all he needs to be. The concussed Alexa Bliss's arrival on the scene does put his position in jeopardy, and it would be a shame to see Stephanie McMahon's right-hand man vanish entirely. I mean, Alexa would also do a great job, but playing awful boss has finally given Corbin a spot he can flourish in, and it feels like the last few months he's only really settled into it. Regardless, he's a glorious dickhead at the moment. Let's enjoy it while it lasts. Number 7, Shayna Baszler. 12 months ago, Shayna Baszler was a moderately intriguing developmental prospect coming off a middling Mae Young Classic run. Now she's NXT's undisputed female ace and the best bully character in all of wrestling. The Queen of Spades has had a fantastic year, peaking with the outstanding Kairi Sane feud. Telling a classic tale of sweetheart versus tormentor, the takeover bouts between the two were laced with subtlety as Baszler demonstrated nuances way beyond her experience. Take War Games for example. It was a blistering spectacle of everything that makes pro wrestling great. Two world-class scrappers went to war in a sprint highlighted by perfectly booked interference spots, Shayna's typically brutal limb work, and Sane's fire, and there wasn't a single second of flab to be found. It was fantastic. Shayna also has the most realistic looking offense in WWE, mostly because she does rely heavily on her MMA background, but that's exactly what she should be doing. she's mastered her act at the top of the NXT pile. Here's hoping this, and her friendship with Ronda Rousey, translates to main roster success. Number 6, Tommaso Ciampa. While ruptured ACLs usually ruin careers, Tommaso Ciampa took his and made sure that he took a step forward. His knee exploding as DIY were breaking up helped stretch NXT's best-told 2017 storyline into 2018, building vast intrigue for Ciampa's eventual return. Johnny Gargano was left running from a ghost he could never truly escape. Tommaso wasn't even on TV, but his spectre was there in everything Johnny Wrestling did, and all the while we were just building up Ciampa as the ultimate threat. Eventually we got to take over New Orleans and we had an instant classic, their unsanctioned match showcasing Ciampa's evolution. Though he did lose, NXT's most loathed man had grown in his absence, with his new supervillain status present in everything from his songless ring walk to the violent snap in his execution in the ring. Ciampa was free of the pain of being a man, and he'd made himself into a beast. Not only that, but his campaign of fear and loathing continued throughout the year. Though Ciampa was an excellent pro wrestler prior to the injury, his game has gone to a new level this year. His NXT title reign has become something so monumental that whoever eventually topples him is set for a huge rub, and I can't wait to see how it pans out. Number 5, Hangman Page. Unfairly dubbed as dull by some people, Hangman Page has blazed through New Japan Pro Wrestling and Ring of Honor to establish himself as a can't-miss prospect. Page has blown any harsh criticisms out of the water, and his G1 climax in particular was fantastic, yielding quality bouts against the like of Okada, Elgin, and Suzuki. He was involved in the year's most insane spot fest when he and Joey Janela tried to kill each other at All In, and back in his home promotion of Ring of Honor, Hangman stole Super Card of Honor with a career-best showing against Ibushi. 2019 should bring major opportunities for this rising star, as his career so far has been one of year-to-year improvement. While he still is the unfinished product, there's no reason he won't continue this ascent up the card in both Ring of Honor and New Japan, battling his way towards a single title in the process, provided WWE doesn't steal him away. Number 4, Buddy Murphy. 205 Live's brass ring-grabbing cruiserweight champion is in the form of his life. A highlight reel every time he steps between the ropes on television, Super Showdown and Survivor Series let Buddy Murphy showcase his awesome talents on a bigger stage. Hardcore fans have known this for a while, but now everybody knows not only is he one of WWE's hardest working wrestlers, but also a first-class big match performer. While some people still look down their noses at 205 Live, Murphy has thrived. The company hadn't done much with him since his NXT partnership with Wesley Blake dissolved, and now he's the leading man on his own program. You gotta commend the man for the graft that brought him this opportunity. Fights against the likes of Mustafa Ali and Cedric Alexander show that not only is he one of 2018's most improved wrestlers, but a performer who still isn't close to hitting his peak as a character or an in-ring bruiser. That ain't bad for a guy who looked a surefire candidate for release 12 months ago, and reminds everyone, believe in yourself, believe in your dreams. Number 3, Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch has always been a fantastic wrestler and character, that isn't up for debate. Her qualities have always shone through no matter her role, and unlike many on this list, hers isn't a nothing to something story. But in 2018, she has improved a lot. It all started with that SummerSlam heel turn. Questions were asked at the time, but it proved the perfect career-reviving tonic for Lynch, who sees her new opportunity with gusto. The ensuing weeks made her the most must-see wrestler in the company, and she also made the SmackDown Women's title mean something as she carried herself with a newfound swagger. It's no surprise then that when the man finally did best Charlotte Flair for that championship, it was one of the best women's matches this promotion has ever seen. Becky's presentation has been tremendous, so the booking team does deserve some credit, but to discount Becky Lynch from that equation is a mistake. Spurned on by a conversation with Shawn Michaels, 2018 was the year she started carrying herself like the biggest star in the building. It reflects in her work and as WWE's hottest act heading into 2019. Let's just hope the main event at WrestleMania 35 is indeed her taking on Ronda Rousey, because we got a long way to go yet. Number 2, Jay White. Jay White is now only rivaled by the inimitable Kenny Omega as New Japan's most compelling gaijin. His year has been one of steady growth. Wrestle Kingdom 12 Showdown with the legendary Hiroshi Tanahashi, for example, wasn't all that great, with Switchblade coming off more like a wet goth edgelord than the master manipulated the bookers wanted to present him as. They persisted though, and White grew with every performance. While it was quite clear at first he was uncomfortable in his no rule, Gedo is a master booker. He has earned trust from his audience, and lo and behold, before long, Jay White turned out to be worth all the trouble. A star by the time he turned his back on Chaos and had the Bullet Club takeover, he has progressed immensely inside the ring and out. And as of this moment, his clash with Okada at Wrestle Kingdom 13 is considered one of the most anticipated matches. White didn't really smash it when he last set foot inside the Tokyo Dome, but few would bet on history repeating itself. Number 1. Ronda Rousey. Given that Ronda Rousey walked into 2018 with literally no wrestling experience and will likely walk out of WWE as one of its most important performers, there can be no other choice for this top spot. The baddest woman on the planet had kind of a rough start. An underwhelming Royal Rumble debut presented her as a smiling sign pointer, and follow-up segments were a work in progress that just happened to be happening in front of her eyes. And then she delivered one of the greatest debut matches in WWE history. And if you need a little bit more, in only her 5th professional bout, she had a good match with Nia Jax at Money in the Bank. Throw in that she kind of felt like Steve Austin on that Raw before Extreme Rules when she was beating up Alexa Bliss and Kurt Angle, and then you also have the Charlotte Flair match. When you put it all together, just wow. We won't pretend that there aren't still gaps in Ronda's skill set, but for her to be as good as she is today after arriving with nothing is remarkable. Trust me, she is going to kick all the ass in 2019.
Violent energy. Clear with the elbow. The